Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast to guide you home into your human journey here on Earth. My name is Vivian Gerard, and it is my delight to co-create with Gaia and share our messages from Source in this now moment. Here we go. Episode 488. It is Friday here in Cincinnati. It is a beautiful sunny August day, and there is a lot to share. I don't know that I have it all prettied up, but that seems to be the collective experience of so many right now. We had a full moon in Aquarius on Monday. Pluto is in its final little squeeze with Aquarius before it moves into Capricorn on September 1st. We are in between the full moon moving towards the new moon. Uranus is active. There is just so much that is happening astrologically. I was just watching a video by Pam Gregory. She said, just hold on, nothing in your life is going to look the same by next year. Those are my words of what she said. She's like, there is so much shifting and reorienting and resettling as we move through these last few months with Pluto and Capricorn. It is such an incredible time to be a soul in a human body, and it is also so intense and often very confusing, a little disorienting. So we arrive in this space of co-creation together. I sitting here in my chair looking into the video camera, knowing you are on the other side, and we're having a moment. We're pausing together to explore like what's actually true. What is an energy, a belief, a limitation we can release, and how can we step more clearly, more firmly into our embodiment of the infinite here on this planet? So that's what we're going to do for a little while together today in this episode. What would I want to share? A lot of there's a few things. Let's start with the squeeze first. So Pluto in Aquarius is a big shift that we're going to all be taking collectively in November 19th. And when it begins, it is going to be a 20-year journey that's going to take us into Pluto in Pisces. So there's a movement, a current that is always continuing, and this is just one of the aspects that I particularly am tapping into. When the full moon in Aquarius happened on Monday, I really experienced it, felt it as like the trumpets blasting. It is now underway. Like we are in this final. Pam Gregory talks about the final gasp. We're in the final shifts of what has been happening since 2008 with Pluto and Capricorn. We're in the final releasing, letting go, shedding, restructuring, so that we can prepare to be in our power as we move into Pluto and Aquarius in November. And so the full moon in Aquarius felt to me like the sounding of the triumphant expression, like, ta-da! We're moving into this time together, and let's actually begin the final phase of it. Like, let's go, let's do this. And so a lot of what I have been sharing and exploring in my social media posts, and now I bring it here into this podcast space, is how do we walk through these next 3 months in absolute highest alignment with our soul, with our purpose for being here on this planet, with the highest expression of Pluto's transformation. How do we align with that over the next 3 months? And there's lots of ways all of us individually can do that. And there are ways that I hold, that I guide, that I create that are containers we can play in together. And so this podcast is one of those spaces. And I really believe the messages that will be flowing through me over the next 3 months are going to be so powerful and direct, more even than what I have flowed through before, because the potency of the energy right now is so direct and so powerful. And I know that I'm in alignment with my work, with my soul. And the more that I trust that alignment and just flow through the messages with no agenda, the more direct the energy transmissions are for you to receive. So here we are. This first one it was exact, like the full moon in Aquarius was on August 20th, and Pluto moves into Aquarius on November 19th, 20th. So like we are in the 3-month squeeze, right? September, October, November. We can move through that with fear and trepidation about what's going to happen, or we can move through it with so much joy and excitement for the way that this collective shift is going to guide humanity into a new way of being, a new expression, and the way to really hold that bigger, more triumphant, more exciting, more optimistic vibration is to focus on Pluto and Pisces. Pluto and Pisces is let's be one humanity. Anything that is blocking us from that, that is holding us back from that, any individual resistance that is impacting the collective unification, let's clear that. And so if we can focus on that as a frequency, Jade is coming to join us. If we can focus on that as a frequency over the next 20 years, every single thing that we do and create and express is going to be guiding us towards unification. It's going to be bringing us into one humanity, understanding, way of being, way of experiencing this human realm. And that may feel too far-fetched, too utopian, too dreamers, reality, never going to happen, fantasy experience. But if that's the vision, then the way that we're going to be moving through this time is guided by that vision. And so the decisions that we make, the choices that, carry us through each day are with this larger understanding, this bigger, grander vision for humanity on this planet. So Jade is here to say, let's ground that vision. Let's take a moment. She's so cute. She's just sitting on my lap, shedding hair all over me, knowing that at some point it's going to make my nose itch, and she doesn't care. She's such a little energy worker for all of us. Hold on, I have to move the crystals around so that she's more comfortable, because it's all about Jade in this moment right now. Okay, it's now a conversation with the three of us. Me, Jade, and you. She's like, the conversation just became more powerful. Yeah, what would I say? So I feel like when the full moon in Aquarius activated this frequency, this energy, there's now this sense of we have a set amount of time before. How would I describe this to you? It feels like an orientation. Like the semester has started. We'll align it with school imagery. The semester has started. The full moon in Aquarius was the orientation. It's giving us the structure of how things are going to be. And now school's on. And the semester will complete on November 19th. And that is where we move into the next semester of school, the next experience of Earth School. And we don't know what that's going to be. So our job right now is to walk through these next 3 months as present and aligned and in integrity, expressing our vastness, our infinite magic in the human realm as clearly and consistently as possible. And we can do that on our own, which, many of us do, and we're very good at that. And we can also find the places, the containers, the ways in which doing it in community supports us. So it's kind of like in school now, you can do virtual classes or you can do in person. You can go through the class and study everything by yourself, or you can have small work groups that are going to help you integrate. You can do it solo, or you can ask the teacher for clarification, for understanding of whatever it is you're studying. It's that same sort of human experience right now. The energy, the teaching, the lessons are available for all of us as much as we want to tap into it. We're in school, and we can be in school and just sort of skate by. We're going to get to the November date regardless, or we can really maximize our learning. We can get the most out of the experience. We can learn new skills that are going to help us thrive, that carry with us after this program, this class is over. One of the things that, I know I'm kind of hopping around, but I'm trusting you can follow along. When I went to school, I graduated high school, and that fall I went away and I studied for a year at a local not local, it's 2 hours away, at a really nice art school near me, and loved it, lived on campus, took all these liberal arts classes, played. It was so much fun. Did great, made lots of friends, and then they raised tuition, and at the time I was paying for school myself, and so I came back and dropped out of school and started working for a while. And then a few years later, I decided I need to go back. I got to get my degree. And so I decided to be a commuter. I was going to live, at the time I'd moved in with my then-to-be husband, but at the time my boyfriend, and I was commuting back and forth while I was working probably 20, 30 hours a week and going to school. What I found is that the way that I participated in the classes that I was paying for myself, with a few years more perspective, wisdom under my belt, a little bit older, I was taking the classes because I wanted to actually learn some skills. I wanted to understand what I was learning. I wanted to be able to apply what I was learning to life. I wasn't just trying to get the grade. I mean, some of it was short-term memorization just to get through the test, but most of it was I really want to understand. And what I studied was international business. So I have a BS, I love saying that, I have a BS in management, and I have a BA in Spanish. And while that doesn't mean I'm fluent in Spanish, it means I've studied the cultures. I've studied how we all have different ways of honoring the history and the energies. Maybe I wouldn't have used that word back when I was in college, but there's a way that we honor the culture that we step into, and the ways that each culture communicates and expresses and writes, and the grammar, the word choice, the places around the world, all of the many options we have as a soul in a human body of where to incarnate have different frequencies or vibrations. And yet we're a global business in some sense. We're a global communication space. And so international business really was about understanding, with so many different case studies, understanding how the cultural barriers support or detract from the business. So here I am, 30 plus years later, and I am applying international business, but from an energetic standpoint. We are moving towards a world consciousness where at some point there will be no more barriers, there will be no more separation, there will be no more your culture versus my culture. It will be this understanding of we're one human culture, we're one human species, and we are in communication, in business with the energy field that is Gaia. We are expressions of source, divine, unity, one, playing out these stories here on this human, in this human realm. And so to get to that from where we are now is a journey. It's going to take a while. And I believe this is what, maybe I shouldn't say that. How do I know it's going to take a while? It might happen very quickly. Pluto, the planet of transformation, is moving into Aquarius, the sign associated with communication, the future, sciences, technology, consciousness, individual expression within community. Like there's so much magic that can happen as Pluto moves through Aquarius over the next 20 years that we don't even know yet what we don't know. But I believe we are moving towards this global consciousness unity that transforms what we currently understand. It's so funny when I try to name it, I'm like, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know yet because it hasn't formed yet. It's a potential field of energy that we can touch the frequency, we can tap into it, maybe hold it for, like Abraham Hicks says, hold it for 17 seconds, enough to embody it. And then our minds come in, they're like, no, there's no way, that's never going to happen. We had a beautiful conversation in our mastermind this morning about how do we honor our individual value in the work that we do? How do we hold our pricing and exchange for our time, our wisdom, our value? Like how do we stand steady and strong in what we know our value is and invite someone to pay us at that level, and how we're growing into our value. That the one beautiful friend, she said, just feel the number that makes you go, ah! That's your stretch, that's your actual value. But we're growing into that. We don't quite know how to hold that yet. And I would say that for the collective humanity. I talked about this last week. I believe we were birthed into the human form with a frequency, a DNA cellular understanding of the potential experience of being human, where we're one collective humanity, not bickering and fighting and projecting and tearing each other down. We're unified. I believe we were coded with that. And so how do we continue to tap into and remember and allow that frequency to come through us? It takes practice. It takes trust. We got to grow into it. We've got to evolve into that knowing. And then we live as that. We're embodying that. And so maybe it happens in these little 17 seconds of like, ah, I can do that. I can be that. And then we come back and our mind takes over. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, isn't it, when we feel that? I know, Jade is turning around to look at me like, you can go longer than 17 seconds. You can get to 34, hold it a little longer, and just keep rubbing my head while you hold it. Oh, I believe this is where the animals are so supporting us. I've been meditating with the horses with my friend Nadia. If you are not yet tapping into Nadia's work with the horses, oh my goodness. I will put her link below again, but the full moon meditation she did with the horses for the full moon in Aquarius was just extraordinary. I feel like she's telling us fairy tales, but it's actually like real world that she's tapping into, and she and the horses are taking us there. It's the most beautiful thing. So, yeah, school's in session. To all my teacher friends and my teacher husband, it's going to be a great year. We've got a lot to learn. All of us are in school together. Some are teachers. All of us are students. And it's going to be a really beautiful journey over the next few months as we move into Pluto and Aquarius. And then really next year as we walk in that energy of Pluto and Aquarius, it's going to be extraordinary. And it might also look really messy. There goes Jade. She's moving again. She's on the move. It's going to be a little messy. And, it's just like in school where we don't understand what the teacher is saying, or we we have other things show up in life and we need to take care of our family, or we have some health thing that comes up. The neighborhood has some drama, like who knows? All these things start to get in the way of school. Jade. All these things, maybe Jade, all these things start to get in the way of what we are studying, and it takes practice and focus for us to keep ourselves aligned with what we are studying, with what we are co-creating together. And so it really is about being patient with ourselves, with others, with the collective movement of energy. It might feel like we're making lots of forward momentum and then, oh my gosh, 5 steps backwards again, and we need to embody another frequency or recalibrate, and then, okay, a few steps forward again. Pluto moving backwards into Capricorn may feel like that. It's going retrograde for a little bit before it stations direct on October 13th and then starts to go forward in Capricorn. It might feel like, why am I doing the same things? I've studied this already. I know this already. I've embodied this. Why is it showing up? Why is this pattern here? Well, be with that. Don't rush the lesson. Explore, like, why is this showing up? What have I perhaps not released or not fully learned? And can I sit with the lesson? It's like I remember in school feeling like, haven't we already talked about this? We already did this in this class. We've already studied this in this other program. Why am I going through this another time? But there's wisdom, there's integration, there's embodiment of reviewing something yet again. And then we'll know. It's like, oh, I think I finally got this. It's in me now. I know this. Okay, now we can move forward. Now what's the next lesson? And then the next lesson is going to present itself. It always does. Yeah. Jade is so happy. She sat back down. She's just purring away on my lap. What else would I share? I think it's nice just to be sometimes. I have taken a few pauses this week where my mind was full, my body was tired, my soul was like, oh my gosh, just rest for a moment. And so I went outside and laid in the pool, floated on a raft, and soaked up some sunshine, which I don't always give myself permission to just be like that in the middle of a workday. And I think the recognition and honoring within ourselves that sometimes it's a lot, especially full moon in Aquarius, this last little squeeze of Aquarius before Pluto moves into Capricorn September 1st. We might be feeling just like, okay, go rest. Be still. Let your cat sit on your lap and just be. Go sit under a tree and just feel the steadiness of the tree at your back, the history, the stories that the trees hold. Feel the network of the roots underneath the ground that you're sitting on. And go for a walk instead of, sitting at your desk. Just say, okay, it's time for a break. Or maybe instead of having lunch in your office, you go outside and you walk in the sunshine, get a little sweat, move some energy. Go back in, drink a big glass of water, and you'll feel so different when you're at your computer. You'll feel like, I just infused myself with some love from Gaia, from the sun, from the air. The elements are alive in me again. You will step back into your work in a completely different frequency, and that serves everyone. It serves you and it serves everyone around you. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of testing things out, which really is what school's about, right? We learn something new, and then are we going to apply it? Are we going to, that was my stomach growling, like it's time to eat. Yeah, I guess we need to nourish ourselves. But there's also just testing what you're learning, applying it. and seeing what feels true and right for you, and then releasing what doesn't. So you'll listen to this podcast, and then there might be some things that you carry with you into your day. You're like, yeah, I'm going to try this. I'm going to rest for a moment. I'm going to feel Viv's permission to rest, and I'm going to match that and apply that for myself. I'm going to slow down and let my cat sit on my lap and just let the thoughts not be as busy. I'm just going to be in the moment. You apply it, and then you see how you feel. And you evaluate. And then you apply again in a different way, and you evaluate that. It might be a lot of trial and error as we make our way through the next 3 months. And that's really part of why I've offered so many resources. I think when we have a steady voice, which is what mine will be, more so than ever over the next 3 months, when we have a steady voice that just keeps bringing us back, bringing us back, bringing us back, that helps us avoid some of the looping, or if we're going to go out in a direction, find our way back with a little, Jade is on the move again, with a little less drama, a little less stress. And so we just keep coming back into alignment with this collective energy, which is Pluto moving through Capricorn into Aquarius in November. So I have the podcast. I'm going to be doing 2 live events each week on Insight Timer, which if you're not on that app is, I think it's either free or it's $60 a year. It's an absolute bargain. And there'll be a lot of resources I'll be providing there, which we get to engage. It's you showing up and bringing your energy, and we have co-creation happening live in the moment. The practicum is launching in a new way in September. So you get to come into that space if you want to be live on Zoom with me and meditate with me and receive all these resources that I offer in that community online. And then Metamorphosis Mentorship begins September 19th. So that will walk us 2 months through Pluto and Capricorn, and 1 month as Pluto enters Aquarius. We will be walking through that time together. Weekly calls on Zoom in a group. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And then I'm going to be doing my first in-person retreat. I don't even know when last I did an in-person retreat. It's been a while. It was pre-COVID. I don't even know. It's been quite a while. And we're going to be doing it at the beach in Florida. So I was just talking with my mastermind group about the details and how it's all feeling to me. And yeah, all of that will be put in place this weekend. And I will be opening up the sign-ups for that. We will be together, if it's a match for you, we will be together as Pluto actually crosses the threshold into Aquarius. So November 18th, 19th, and 20th, we will be at the beach together in Florida and co-creating live the magic. I don't even know. I am growing into what that experience will be, and I can't wait to see. All right. That's what I got for now. I am going to go get ready for a live on Insight Timer and then some magical friend time this afternoon and evening. Tomorrow we'll be creating a lot of content. If you are not following me on Instagram yet, now's a great time to go over and check out my page. I am building this really beautiful grid of explaining how I do my work and ways that you can co-create with me. So Jade's tail is just... So that's a really beautiful space if you want to come and follow me over there and say hello. Let me know that you listen to the podcast, and I would love to hear how the podcast resonates for you. All right, that's what I got. Have an amazing weekend, and we've got this. We're going to walk through these next few months with so much grace and strength and joy, and where we are headed is beyond comprehension and so beautiful. So there you go. So much love. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.